Severance Season 2, Episode 2 explored the suspicions of Mark's sister, Devon, who may believe that Gemma is still alive. Severance Season 1's ending showcased the inner workers of Lumen, Mark, Helly, Dylan, and Irving, enacting their plan to alert the outside world of their torment as severed employees. The quartet activated Severance's overtime contingency protocol, allowing their innies to awaken in the outside world. Mark's innie was woken up at a party hosted by Devon, leading to big revelations. The final shot of Severance Season 1 saw innie Mark reach Devon with a photo of outie Mark's dead wife, Gemma, in his hands before shouting she's alive. Another member of Severance's ensemble cast is Ms. Casey, Lumen's wellness counselor, who was revealed to be Mark's supposedly late wife. In Severance Season 2, Episode 2, the aftermath of this is shown from Mark and Devon's perspective as they attempt to discern what innie Mark meant. Expectedly, Devon has a confused reaction to the events, showing signs that she thinks Gemma could still be alive. Devon wants to get more confirmation from Mark's innie on whether Gemma is alive. Rick, Ken and Mark think innie Mark was talking about Devon's baby, Eleanor. The first scene of Severance Season 2, Episode 2 that involves Mark, Devon, and her husband, Rick Ken, shows the trio debating the events. Rick Ken and Mark conclude that innie Mark was talking about Rick Ken and Devon's baby, Eleanor, due to the panic that was caused by Eleanor's brief disappearance in Severance's Season 1 finale and the fears that Ms. Coble, Mrs. Selvig, had taken her. Innie Mark finds the baby in Severance Season 1 before picking up the image of Gemma and rushes out to shout she's alive. Given the sheer ludicrousness of the reality that Gemma is somehow alive, Mark and Rick Ken figure that the former's innie had to have been talking about Eleanor. However, Devon is shown to be less convinced in Severance Season 2, Episode 2. The opening scene shows her and Mark come to blows, with the latter's immense grief almost making it impossible for him to even consider that his innie was talking about Gemma. Devon, though, remains skeptical and later confirms her suspicions. Devon wants Mark to petition to speak to his innie. Devon has a lawyer friend who can help Mark. Adam Scott looking worried as Mark next to Mark looking scared in Severance custom image by Nick Bithrow. Later in Severance Season 2, Episode 2, Mark and Devon are shown drinking coffee together at a diner. Devon asks Mark if he knows of a way to figure out what his innie meant for definite. This spawns another dismissive reaction from Mark, who tells Devon that he is quitting Lumen. Devon continues pushing and tells Mark that she has a lawyer friend who has insisted that he can petition to speak to his innie. While this is not built upon further, it links back to Season 1 via Helly's journey with her Severance innie and outie personalities. In Severance Season 1, Helly films a videotape so that she can speak to her outie about quitting Lumen. Her outie, later revealed to be Helena Egan, tapes a message back and insists she is not quitting because Helly is not a person. Devon's friend is likely implying that a similar process can be accessed for Mark, allowing him to record a videotape to speak to his innie. Regardless, no matter how much she asks Mark and insists they need confirmation that his innie was not talking about Gemma, he continuously rebukes her. Ms. Coble may have convinced Mark that Devon is right. Mark's mind may finally be changed. Coble looking shocked in her car in Severance Season 2 Episode 2. Despite Mark's inability to accept that Gemma may still be alive, the ending of Severance Season 2, Episode 2 may have changed his mind. In the sequence, Mark sees Ms. Coble leaving her home for her new position as a member of the Severance Advisory Council. Naturally, Mark has questions and stands in front of her car, asking Coble if she knows anything about Gemma. Coble simply stares at Mark before screaming, honking her horn, and driving off, almost running Mark over. Clearly, this is not the reaction of someone who is none the wiser to Lumen's plans with Gemma. As the audience knows, Coble is completely aware of Gemma's position on the severed floor as Ms. Casey, and her reaction in Severance Season 2, Episode 2 is a method of avoidance. After witnessing Coble's reaction, Mark will likely now align more closely with Devon's way of thinking. This could see the two formulate a plan for Mark to communicate with his innie in Severance Season 2's future episodes so that they can get confirmation about Gemma's fate, one way or another.